Hey guys, it's Robert Hurd, General Manager at Porsche Center Kelowna, and welcome back for another episode of Inside the Dream. Today I have my good friend and Marketing Director for the Wyant Group, Mallory Guenther. Mallory, good morning, and thanks for joining me.
Good morning, thanks for having me.
So I start the podcast off with a question, and that is, what is your first memory of Porsche?
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask me this one. I was thinking about it because I have a lot of first memories since being with the group, but what is the first memory is the one that I want to share. And I think it's when I participated in the roadshow last year and really got to see what these cars can do. Then I wanted a Porsche.
Yeah.
So I think that was the difference.
And I know a little bit about that experience. You had a pretty cool experience with the launch control of the vehicle.
Yeah.
What vehicle was that?
That was the Taycan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is one of the better ones to do it in just because of that immediate delivery of power and torque through the electric battery, of course.
Absolutely.
So how long have you been with the group?
It'll be 5 years this coming May.
Yes, wow.
Yeah.
That went very, very fast. So over those 5 years, I know there's been a lot of kind of growth and expansion for you. Your role has developed from being part of the marketing team to being the leader and the main person inside that marketing team. How has that journey gone for you? What does that kind of growth, looking back on it, feel like a little bit?
It's interesting actually, because when I first came into the group, it was a very short-term trajectory for me. I was thinking 3 to 5 years, a little pause, coming out of running my own businesses, coming into this, and then looking to pivot somewhere elsewhere. And then once I started to understand the culture of the Wyant Group and really understand the values and what's trying to be created here, then I realized that this is in complete alignment with what I see for my future. And it's just actually been in the past few months that I've realized that that 3 to 5 year is extending, and I don't see myself going anywhere anytime soon. So.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
You touched on having your own business, and before we get into that fully, our first kind of real-time meeting you was a pretty important experience in my life. We have a very close friend, COO of our entire group, Michael Wyant, who recommended that I have a session with you, kind of within the background that you had your previous business, and it was a really impactful one that I'll share a little bit more after you tell me, I guess, a little bit about your background, your previous business, and what that has looked like for you.
Yeah. So it all started, I think, when I was a teenager. I had very explosive emotions, and I needed to figure out a way to manage those. And it really led me down this path of coming to understand our anatomy, our nervous system, and then how our bodies literally hold every single experience we've ever had in our life. And our mind doesn't always get a chance to process those experiences, and they can live within us and come up at a later time as an explosive emotion, say. So as I studied into this and started to understand the nervous system, it led me to the path of somatic experiencing, the work of Peter Levine, and that's really what I've been focusing on mostly lately. But it's all the mind-body connection. Started in yoga, and then I'm a forever student, so I started studying everything and anything that I could.
Yep.
Currently, my major passion is somatic experiencing and craniosacral therapy.
That is, it sounds very, very complex. And that experience that I had with you was in Saskatoon. Michael strongly suggested it. And it was kind of part of a breakthrough moment for me that took me down a path of self-exploration and a bunch of different things that I've done over the past, that's probably 4 years ago or so, something around those lines. So it was very beneficial for me and sent me on a very, very good path personally.
Love hearing that.
So, you mentioned that there was originally a kind of maybe a 3 to 5 year plan moving forward. Now you see it for a longer period of time. And a lot of that comes to the culture and the values that the Wyant Group has, shares, and is really, I would suggest, focusing in on now as our kind of next evolution of growth within our company and the corporation. What excites you most about that?
Well, I think it's what I was doing before this, that there's a potential that we all hold within us. And when we can organize our own internal systems well, then we thrive. And you can take that inner experience and apply it to an outer experience like a corporation, right? So all of the systems day to day that make up what we do, they together come into this picture where we get to come to, like what you have here, Porsche Center Kelowna, driven towards excellence. If you didn't have all those individual systems in place, you wouldn't be experiencing the feedback that you get so often here. And so it's really this opportunity for us to thrive together in community. Me taking that one-on-one work that I was doing with people and bringing it into a different setting. I think that's what excites me the most, is the potential of humanity to work together towards a collective goal and thrive within it. Not be stressed out doing it, thrive within it.
And I think it's something that's, in my opinion, not focused on enough in business, especially big business. Taking care of our people comes first. Everything else kind of follows in line with that from a financial perspective. And a lot of companies don't put that at the forefront. Our company does. Michael, our good friend, is incredibly passionate about it. We had a conversation about it, him and I, yesterday morning over breakfast, just that it's his number one goal to give our employees, our teammates, the best possible experience they can have at work, and really that be his legacy of high retention, high satisfaction for all of the employees, etc. So it's cool to be part of. I know that you're going to be a big part of it, and I'm sure I'll have a little bit of a part to do with it as well if I possibly can.
I think so too.
You and I went to Jim Collins in Chicago. So we went for a one-day conference in Chicago with Jim Collins. It was just fantastic. What are some of the things that stood out to you about that?
I think the biggest thing, like when people were asking me how it was, I used the words life-changing. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And I don't use those words very often, but there's these key moments. And I think that my journey coming into the Wyant Group and where I am now and where I see myself going and where we're all going together, there was this missing piece that I had. And what that day gave me was the framework for how I can take all of this knowledge and understanding that I have about individual human optimization and apply it to business. I love that it was very research-based, right? Everything that he did, he's an educator. It's based on all of this research. And it's this very clear framework for optimization in the business setting. And so I think overall, kind of at a higher picture, that's my biggest takeaway. But then all of the little individual pieces, I often say with my clients, how can we be with what is?
Yeah.
And with Jim Collins, it's the truths, right? What are the brutal facts that we need to face? And we can face those brutal facts and we can be with what is, and then we can truly move forward from a place of coherence and stability, not from wishing it was a certain way that it wasn't, and getting caught in the future or the past.
Which so many people do. Most people are living in the future or in the past, and can never really focus on today and what they need to do today to get them to where they want to go in the future.
Absolutely.
So, interesting question. So I've read lots of Jim's books. I also found the day just incredibly experiential and just unreal, to be quite frank with you. What is it like going to something like that versus reading a book? Because I know that you've read the books with me as well. Because it sounds like you probably took more from that one day experience than reading a lot of the books. Maybe it was them coming together collectively. Is there anything that stood out versus reading and then being there in person?
Yeah, I think it was having the opportunity to have a conversation with all of the other coaches that are working in this way. That's one piece, and then there's another piece too, but getting to ask them, like, what is the difference between taking this framework, the good to great framework, and putting it into play? What stops people? And at the end of the day, the feedback that I was getting from all of these coaches is that it's the individuals, right? We can have the framework, we can have all the systems, but we all have these things in us that we need to overcome in order to do those daily habits, to create those goals. And so it was really exciting for me because that's the piece that I'm so passionate about, is like the human barriers, the subconscious mind, how we can look at ourselves and overcome those individual things. But then the other side of it was just getting to be in the presence of Jim. There's an energetic exchange. Even if you just think about the science of the nervous system, the mirror neurons, we're constantly mirroring each other when we sit in each other's presence. So when you get to just be in the presence of another person, there's an energetic exchange and a scientific resonance that happens at the level of the nervous system when you get to learn things by just being in the way that their system operates. So my mind expanded, my heart expanded, and I just received so much more.
He was incredibly impressive. He was such a good speaker. He was very collected, very engaged, and the information that he goes through is pretty highly detailed out of so many of his books. And for him to be able to just extract things on the fly the way that he did with the interaction that we had. One thing that he did that I really loved, so kind of paint a quick picture, is that there's tables of 8 or 10 shared throughout the entire overall room of the building that we were in, and you kind of had your little teams, but Jim would say, we're going to change it up, and this corner is going to go and talk over to this corner and vice versa over to that corner, and then change it up the next time. He very kept us on our toes, and I was really impressed with that. It gave us the chance to meet lots of new people, engage in lots of different ways. You and I intentionally sat at different tables so that we could get different experiences and then bring those together to try to increase our overall experience.
Absolutely.
Have you taken anything back and implemented it with your team?
What do you think?
I think yes.
100%. Absolutely. I took that. We had a marketing summit the next week coming back from that conference, and I created kind of a mini conference for the team. And we went through some of the key concepts together. The level 5 leadership one, I kind of reframed it and went into level 5 marketing professional.
Yeah.
Because we're in the marketing department. And we talked about what we can do individually to go from that, base level to that level 5 leadership, marketing professional, however you want to language it.
And is it something that they were excited about? I mean, it's pretty heavy a lot of the time to bring this to people. It takes a while for them to digest. It's exciting off the start for a lot of people, but some people can get overwhelmed. How did your team react to it?
It was a mix, yeah. Everyone was really excited about the level 5 leadership or level 5 marketing professional. When we went into the flywheel and the BHAG and some of these other concepts to talk about them, it was a little bit too big, I think, because in their role, they're not necessarily thinking about organizational health yet. Yeah, it
can be a lot. I do it with my team here, my leadership team, and I can overwhelm them sometimes with just my drive and book clubs and different stuff like that. So totally. I know that well.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming on. I just wanted to jump on. It's been something, you've been part of the podcast and behind the scenes. We've become very, very close friends, and I wanted to jump on and really appreciate you taking the time to do so.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Inside the Dream. If you did like today's episode, please like, share, and we really appreciate it. It goes a long way for us growing the podcast. Other than that, have a great day. I'll see you next time.